I am so excited to talk about, I think, one of the coolest things that I've ever discovered in all wellness research, this compound called sulforaphane. I'm obsessed with it, and I want to tell you why I'm obsessed with it and why I think it's like one of the number one things missing from all of our diets every day, especially our children. But the reason that I discovered this compound and fell into this world of sulforaphane research was because I was trying to find something that I could give my loved ones that could help them. And in all the research, I have family members that have struggled with autoimmune disease, neurodegenerative issues, autism, and I kept seeing sulforaphane come up across all of my research as this one incredible compound that can do so much for our health. And I realized it's almost nowhere to be found, and it's a really sensitive compound. So I really spent the last 10 years plus of my life trying to figure out how I can get this into my diet every day, all my loved ones, and especially my son's diet every day. So let's talk about sulforaphane. So sulforaphane. And really cool thing is that sulforaphane actually is in almost all cruciferous vegetables. So those are your vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, asparagus, those really kind of sulfur, kind of bitter vegetables, maybe the ones that we kind of try to stay away from. That sulfur bitter compound is actually sulforaphane. And so it's commonly in all of these vegetables. But one of the things that's important to know is that it's really heat sensitive. So when we are cooking these vegetables, it's actually denaturing the sulforaphane, so we're not actually getting it into our bodies. So when you eat these sulforaphane containing vegetables, try to eat them in the raw form. But what it is a phytonutrient. So it's part of the whole food matrix. When you eat something like broccoli, like mature broccoli, for example, you're getting the fats, the proteins, the fibers, the carbs, the minerals, the vitamins, but there's this huge pocket of nutrients called phytonutrients that are in plants, and sulforaphane is one of those phytonutrients. And so what it is, it's a supernutrient that is considered phytonutrient, but this compound is one of the most anti-cancerous compounds ever found in nature. And it was actually discovered in 1992. In 1992, a researcher, Paul Tallalay at Johns Hopkins University, discovered it when he was trying to find chemoprotective compounds, so cancerous preventive compounds that were in the foods that we were eating. And he focused on broccoli because broccoli had a good amount of sulforaphane. And from 1992 up to 1997, there was a ton of research that was done on sulforaphane, but what they realized through the researchers, Paul Tallalay and his team, and then here, Dr. Jed Fahey, who was a part of his team at Johns Hopkins, he discovered that the highest concentration of sulforaphane is actually in broccoli seeds and broccoli sprouts. And so what was amazing is because they were trying to isolate sulforaphane, but they had to use so much fruit, like so much of these vegetables in order to actually get them out. So when they found that it was hyper concentrated in broccoli sprouts, they realized it was anywhere from 10 to 100 times more concentrated in the sprouts. So this is one of the reasons why I'm obsessed with broccoli sprouts. So it's literally 10 to 100 times more concentrated in the broccoli sprouts. All the way up until now, there has been thousands of studies done on sulforaphane and clinical trials done trying to prove how it is beneficial for our human health. And what the master takeaway is that it's not just good for cancer prevention, which is why it was initially discovered in research. It was actually proven to be incredibly beneficial for much broader anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. So it's even more of a super nutrient, but what it really does is it triggers NRF2 pathway. This is what it triggers in our body. So when we consume sulforaphane, what it does is it actually triggers this pathway, which is literally our cell's master defense switch. So when our cells realize, hey, there's sulforaphane in our system, like a light switch, it flips it on, and that turns on over 200 different genes that are activated that then go and tell our cells to reduce oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, and start to detox environmental toxins from our body. So it is literally, it is our master, it is our cell's master defense mechanism. So we should be all consuming as much sulforaphane and sulforaphane-rich fresh fruits and vegetables as much as possible. But what's really cool is the research. So the research has gone a few different ways. A lot of the research has gone into neurodegenerative diseases like sulforaphane and other compounds that are specifically targeted towards autism. And then a lot of the research has gone into the cancer world. But on the autism side, which I think is really, really promising, because I believe as parents, there's a lot of us that are constantly looking for, hey, what foods can I give my baby to improve their cognitive development? But for children who are suffering with autism, they need this compound even more, because what some research shows is that it improves their daily ABC scores. And this is improving eye contact, social skills, verbal communication. This is improving things that could literally change their daily lives and their lives with their families. And this is just a natural compound that we all have access to, that we can all grow on our countertops. This is a super nutrient, and even if it makes a 5 up to 33% difference in their daily lives, that is life-changing for these parents who are trying to find solutions for their little ones. And then the other side, some really cool research on the animal studies have shown that when a pregnant mom consumes sulforaphane while the baby is developing in utero, it literally protects the baby, it protects the offspring from developing autism-like behaviors, and it also improves cognitive outcomes overall. So the fact that there's some incredible animal research and continuing human research to be done on this, I feel like it's one of those things that we all should be consuming as pregnant moms. We all should be giving to our little ones, because the cognitive benefits and the reduction of overall toxins from our system is only going to make us healthier. It's only going to optimize that first 1,000 days of life even more. And so this is why I believe sulforaphane is a super phytonutrient that we should all have in our diets, and we should make sure we're eating as much broccoli sprouts as possible to really maximize how much we're getting of this super nutrient.